In this short video, I'm going to run through for you how and where you can go about creating systems within your business in an easy manner, one that you can't forget, and one that has a framework which can be duplicated. Stay tuned. G'day guys, Matt here from Trading Web Guys, and I'm coming at you today with a short video with an overview. Okay, this is not a complex deep dive. This is an overview to help you understand the flow we use and we recommend when it comes to creating processes within your organization. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with what a process might be, essentially it's an instruction or it's some sort of framework that can be followed to deliver a thing. If you're in an instance where you want to offload a certain task to a team member, for example, then if you create a process on that which explains how to do that thing, it means that you don't have to do it again, and it means that they have a clear instruction on how to do that thing in a way that you want them to do it. Now, we're going to run through a couple of different things in this video. I'm going to try not to get too heavily involved in project management, but I want to help you guys understand the relationship between documentation and project management. And I also want to help you guys understand where the best place is to start so that you're not getting too caught up in the whole process creation concept, and you're understanding that processes exist at a certain time and a certain place within a workflow. So I'm just going to start here with what a workflow looks like. This is an example of our sales process. And as you can see here, it's broken down into sections and it's got different steps. It's important that you start here because when you understand what this flow looks like, it gives you the ability to then turn this flow into a step of tasks. So for example, at the top here, it's like, okay, well, how do we qualify this lead? So the step that might become first would be, has this lead been qualified? Yes or no? The way that you translate that into your task management system is important because essentially it enables you to assign that task to somebody or people. They then, once it's done, they can say that they can tick that it's been done, and they're remaining accountable to that specific task. And if you can see here, there's a whole bunch of different things: call booked, triage calls, blah, 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 so on and so forth. All of these different things need to have a specific actionable task assigned to them. So has the call been booked? Yes or no? Now, in this instance, this task is actually an automated task. So we don't need to create an SOP on it because the system does this through automation. And if you want any more information on that, head across to tradiehub.net because we help businesses do this. We help them automate parts of their sales process so that they don't have to have a manual aspect to it. However, if you come across here to the next one, which is the triage call, that is very much something that somebody has to do. So the triage call in this instance needs to be a step within a checklist, and it also needs to have an explainer on how to do and how to carry out the triage call. Having the flow work created is the first part, and not every single step of this flow is going to require instruction. It's not all going to require a procedure or an SOP or a system or whatever you want to call it, but some of them certainly will. Document what your flow looks like to begin with. So whatever it is that the problem that you're trying to solve, or whatever, the best place to start is typically with your biggest product or service. So say, for example, you're a plumber and your biggest service is hot water systems. You would document those steps in a flow chart. Then once you've got that, you would then take that across to a checklist. Now, again, I don't want to get too caught up with project management, but essentially what project management is a series of checklists. And you can see here, this is quite a complex one that we use for our web development product over at Trading Web Guys. Basically a series of steps, and they've all been assigned and they all have dates and people are accountable to them. Some of them have sub-steps, some of them don't. When this gets assigned or a new client comes on board for a web development project, then we know step by step the things that we have to do in order to deliver that task to our standard. So this is a checklist. We use ClickUp for this. Again, I don't want to go too deep into project management, but if you do want to you want to check out ClickUp, there's an affiliate link that's going to be within this post. So click on that and go check it out. It's a great tool. The reason that we use ClickUp is because ClickUp has the ability to have our checklists and our document management, aka processes, all in the one place. And we found that was quite a unique thing back at the time when we were getting a setup for this. We've used many things over the past, but you don't need to go this complex, by the way. If you just use Google Docs, that could be a great start. We just wanted to have a way that we could bring everything into the one place. So ClickUp was a great solution for us. There are many solutions out there. Again, the tool itself is not that important. It's more that you understand the concept that I'm trying to define here for you, okay? This is your checklist, and your checklist is the actionable steps that need to be taken to deliver on that project. And you can see here, we've got ours broken down into stages. You don't have to do that. We've just done it in this because this has been an evolution over 10 years of web development. Then once you have that defined, we can say, okay, cool. Well, which of these specific steps need further instruction? So if I click on this one, for example, this is the task which has been marked as done. If I want to know more about how to actually do that, we can click on this SOP here, and it brings up clear instructions on how to deliver that specific task. So this here is an SOP. This is a standard operating procedure. And yes, this is quite a complex one. They don't always have to look that complex. Essentially, SOPs should be define who it's for, when you would use it, what you use it for, and then the steps that break that SOP down. The purpose of this is that somebody can follow that SOP. It doesn't matter who does it, they will always do it the same way. So it's following a structure, and it's getting things done the way that we want them delivered, not the way that they think it should be delivered. And that's an important thing to define. I'll take you now across to the place that we keep our SOPs, because as you can imagine, once you start collating a lot of these, they need somewhere to live. And document management becomes very important, and it's important that you have a clear hierarchy in place so that people understand where documents live in relation to various things. And what you just saw there was a shortcut to that document, which is a great way to do it, but it still needs to live somewhere where people can find it. We have a thing within our project management system called our wiki. It wasn't always in here. We've had it live in Google Sites in the past. And essentially, it's an intranet where we can store all of our documents. And if you see here, we've got all of our business departments down here. And within those business departments, you will see processes that relate to those different departments. So we've got our marketing strategy here, domain name related, web development processes, SEO processes, we've got client meeting processes. Everything here lives within this hierarchy, and they've all got instructions on how to do the thing. So if we go into the marketing strategy doc for a client, I click on this, you can see what, why, how, there's screenshots, there's step-by-steps, so on and so forth, and there's a video even in this one, and very often there's a video. What you're looking at here is quite a detailed evolution of systemized business. Yours does not need to start there. It will never start there, but it may end up there. It's a cadence and it's a culture thing. So I always say to people, one of the first systems that you should create is a system on how to create systems so that your team understands the value of, if there's anything there that needs to be recorded, record it in a system structure so that there's a record of it, which means they can then go on holiday and somebody can do the thing. Otherwise, they can never go on holiday. And that's the way I tell the team. That's what I tell the team as well. I say, listen, if you don't create a process around this, you are never going to be able to step away from the business. You always have to do these tasks. So it's about building a bit of redundancy into the deliverable parts of your organization. And it's a way that you can free up team members from doing things over and over again. Or if you want to take a certain task off your own hands and you want to give it to somebody else, the only way you're really going to do it is by offering them clear instruction. That's a really brief overview as to how we run systems within our business. I'd love to hear your comments on what works for you guys. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to be notified of upcoming videos. I'm Matt from Tradie Web Guys. I look forward to chatting to you in an upcoming video. Ciao.